What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Welcome to first episode back. I think this is number 66 maybe. I don't know of this season. So is that like 436? I don't know. Sooner or later I'm gonna keep count. But welcome back to the show. It's good to have Shannon back on the show. We are now back until the next holiday probably, and then we're going to take another break. But so this one should carry you through your Labor Day weekend, so that's good. So you guys will have an episode for that one. Then I don't have an Ask Sis P this week, so you'll get 4 good episodes. Maybe I do a flashback episode. I kind of like that, like digging through the archives. But we'll talk about more of that on Friday's episode. So stay tuned. Without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this first article is from cybersecuritynews.com, written by Tushar Subradutta. It's titled 5 Families Hackers Collaborate to Launch Notorious Cyber Attack. So we got these cyber gangs are out here acting like the Godfather, right? When you had the 5 families. But what we have here is ThreatSec, GhostSec, Stormus, Black Forums, and SiegeSec that have all formed to be the 5 families. And what's a little bit different about this is my understanding of when you had these cyber gangs is that it was kind of a conglomerate type thing, and they didn't really have a leader. But this one actually said, because they put an advertisement out for this, not an advertisement, but a notification out on Twitter saying that they are grouping together, and they'll be led by 5 people, right? So there's actually a leader of these groups, of each one of these groups, that is, I guess they kind of go to the table, like the mafia did, or does. I don't know. I don't think the mafia is still around. Maybe they are. I don't know. If I get a visit at my door, I'll know that that's true. You know what I mean? But
Or a horse head in your bed. You
or a
gotta be
horse head in
careful.
my bed. Yeah. I don't know how they make that work though, because like if
Right,
neither my wife nor I wake up, like that's gonna be a problem. Like, are we
yeah,
sleeping that heavy? Are we sleeping? but, but so yeah, 5 families is what they have, right? So what they did was they actually kind of they went out there and had a big shebang, right? So they hacked this company called Alpha Automation, which is a Brazilian company, right, for software security, I believe is what they do. And Brazilian software development company. I'm sorry, software development, not software security. So they hacked them and then put it out there on Twitter and was like, hey, here's where you can find, if this company decides they don't want to meet our demands, here's where people can go to get this information, right? And they put it out there like, hey, here's what we got from this company. We got their customer data, financial information, internal documents, company software. The software part is probably what hurts the most to the company, right? Because it's one of those things where this is how you make your living, is providing this service. And if you put it out there for free or for a small fee to other people, this is where these companies kind of suffer for that. But yeah, like I said before, they put a notification out there on Twitter, or X is what it's called now, saying, hey, we're out here, we're doing things, just be wary, right? Like we're going to be taking over the things, right? We're the new La Familia in the in the cyber hacking world. But this is kind of, I think they're going to draw more attention to themselves than they really want from different governments, to be honest with you. Because if you start going down this road, it's not like you did it, under the cover of darkness. You did it and then put it out there on X, which is a widely known social media app. You know what I mean? So, these different governments around the world, they have accounts on here, right? So like you're putting yourself out there as a threat. So it may be one of those things where we may be give it a month or two. We may be doing an article here on the show talking about how, hey, an international, law enforcement agency from, the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand, they got together and took down the 5 families. I'm not saying it's the case for sure, but there's a good likelihood it could happen. But if this is the way they're going, like I can kind of see it happening more often, because we've done the stories where, like I was just mentioning, these big governments go after some of these different cyber gangs, right? So they figure, okay, there's strength in numbers, right? So instead of just just being Revel or Red, whatever it was, by themselves, like let's do all 5 of us, right? It's a little bit harder to make that make yourself an easy target when you do that. But I think you're just calling attention to yourself. And if you do something that gets the attention of one of these countries, right? Like they're not going to stand for this, right? Like these countries are all allies with each other for a reason, right? It serves a shared purpose for them to go out there and provide protection to their people. You know what I mean? So we'll see where this goes. But they, like I said, they made a splash. They went out there, did themselves a hack, and then put it out there on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and we'll see what goes from there. But what's your thoughts on this, Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought this one made me chuckle. Before I get into that, so please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit a bell. There's a bell involved. We're trying to increase our YouTubership. I guess that would be the term. So we have like 225 subscribers. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the year, and then continue to listen to us on the podcast of your choice. Right, like our numbers are like pretty high. We've been doing pretty well month over month and gaining more and more people. So share with your nerdy friends. Appreciate that. So my thoughts, like initially seeing it, I was like, well, like I'm never pro ransomware gang. Well, like, that's kind of cool that they had that throwback, right? Like someone within the community knows a little bit of filmography, right? Like uh, however, by doing what they did, like there is strength in numbers. There's also laws for groups and gangs. So you have just set yourself up for failure. So if you watch recent news, we all know what a RICO is now, right? So racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization law, which came out back in the 1970s. So now that you've formed a crime organization of this size, you're now up for RICO charges if in case they ever want to pursue those on you. So this puts you way in jail for a long time. So I think the cleverness has just set them up for a big failure, right? So not just international law, but if one of the states wanted to get at them for whatever reason, like Georgia, perhaps, like in recent events, they're set up for a RICO now. So people will be, what is it? Is it called expedition, where they expedited? Yeah, they will be brought to whatever state. They will be put up on whatever charges, and they could face up to a lot of years. So, not a good move if you're trying to stay stealthy. And like you said on Twitter, because I'm never calling it X. Usually these gangs advertise themselves on the darker of the webs, not in prime time like a big outlet such as Twitter. So also not the greatest moves. I mean, I get to try to be splashing, get your name out there, but you're drawing all the wrong attention. So
So and again, so they started in Brazil, right? So like this was a software company in Brazil. So it's one of those things where that I think they know better than to just go for a heavy hitter right off the bat, right? Like I think they want to test their waters a little bit, put the toe in, you know what I mean? But like, okay, ain't no crocs in there, you know what I mean? No crocodiles in
yeah,
there right now. So let's go ahead and do this. So Brazil, I'm not saying Brazil's like third world or anything like that, but it's not nearly the power as the UK, the US, Australia, those countries like that they could be in doing some damage like this. So
right. Well, I mean, they just had the JBS, not just had, that's probably a year ago now, but they may be strengthening or they may have seen the light, and now they're also heavy hitter. We don't know per se, but yeah, like you said, they're not like part of the, I guess the allies, because you got the Axis and the allies, right? Or two, they're not part of the allies. So but who's to say that the Department of Justice won't step in and help them out, right? Because now they're chomping at the bit. So there might not be crocs in the water, but there may be sharks. So we will see what comes of the five families. I think that this will be short-lived. I give them to the end of the year, and then they'll get dismantled or hemmed up. Only because they've made such a not that they attacked anybody who was a heavy hitter yet, but they advertise themselves a little too well, right?
very
Like
publicly, yeah.
yeah, so they may want to have kept that on the hush hush so they got somebody bigger, but we'll see. Like they may make it, but as aggressive as like you said, the US, the UK, Australia, and working together and taking down ransomware gangs, like I think you should have stayed separate and silent. But that's why we're not in charge of any of these places. Because I've been a lot stealthier in my approach, but we'll see what the future holds. I give them to Q1 2024. But but yeah, definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursday I might do like a throwback Thursday or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. And in place of Ask Us SP. When I have two more coming up though. I do have Ask Us SP being recorded next week and the week after that. So definitely tune in for those. Um but in the meantime, I might, because I like having that fifth episode anyway, so I might start doing something, going back into the archives, pulling some stuff out. And then Fridays, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So definitely tune in for that. I know we've seen a lot of media over the past couple weeks, so definitely check us out. Hit us up by the website that goes by, or hit us up at all the websites that go by our name. There you go. I'm Rusty. Hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.